Hi YouTubers, it's George. Just in the kitchen at the moment. I was in the garage earlier, but it was horrible. And I'd just like to show you this bit of kit. If it's not coming out very well, but it's called the Beast, and it's for Meshtastic, and you buy it complete. And when I first got into Meshtastic, I thought rather than build something myself, I had very little knowledge of it, I decided to buy it all done. And in this unit here is the Heltec V3 board, a buzzer, a GPS and a big battery. Worked extremely well until I had a problem, and it was when more nodes were coming online. And what happened was there were so many nodes, the actual Heltec V3 board locked up. I wasn't able to connect to it by Wi-Fi. I wasn't able to connect it by Bluetooth. I couldn't connect to it at all. And then I found a way of connecting to it by using a USB data lead. So I connected directly to it, and it was still locked up. And the only way I could clear it, this is not a fault of the unit itself, it's a fault that just happened with the Heltec V3, and it was 100 nodes it was picking up. And so what I did, I had to reflash it onto the latest firmware, and then it worked again only after I reinstalled all the settings. But I had quite a problem with the settings because I was struggling to get the little alert buzzer to work. But I contacted the guy I got it from, and he told me how to do that. But then when I got it, and it was in bits sort of thing, got it working again, I got it in bits. I thought, well, not happy with some of the wiring, and the reason for that is I wanted to rearrange the wiring so that I could have an environmental board fitted so that it will measure temperature and barometric pressure. And as it was, there wasn't enough room in the case. And the reason why there wasn't enough room is because it used very, very thick wires to interconnect different things. And the problem with that is thick wires don't bend very easy. And so what I did, I rewired it using thinner gauge wire. And you know, this stuff, which is very, very flexible. Whereas some of the other wires that were in it were they were thick, almost like this, a bit on an apple. It was really stiff and horrible. So I've rewired it, and I've now fitted it with an environmental board. And the environmental board, which measures temperature, is in here, and I don't know if you can see, I've drilled holes there so that air can get in this part. If it's mounted directly inside here, the environmental board, it will pick up the temperature from the module itself when it's working. Although it's only low power, it does get slightly warm. So if you fit an environmental temperature module in here, it's not going to read accurately. So it's now mounted over here, and that's covered in later on in the video. There is still one snag with these units if you buy one. To charge the battery, it has to be in the on position, because when you switch the unit off, it disconnects the battery from the Heltec V3 module, and of course that's where you plug a USB in to charge the battery. So when it's off, the battery is disconnected, so you can't charge it from the USB. So that's an issue with it, but it's not easy to overcome that, to be honest. But I can cope with that, because I can have it plugged in USB while it's actually working and it charging the battery. So the rest of the video is really talking about how I fitted this module in, and you will see I've put some very thin wires now, which makes it easier to reassemble it. You know, it doesn't need massive thick wires on it because it's very low power, and that's the sort of wire I use, is very flexible stuff. So thanks for watching so far. Please subscribe and like. Back from our adventure down Norfolk, and I've got to work on this Meshtastic node today, and this is what's called the Beast, and I'm rewiring it because I'm not happy with the wiring configuration, and yeah, it's could be improved dramatically, put it that way. And I'm hoping I can rewire this neater and also fit an environmental module to it as well. So what I'm doing with this the Beast, I'm changing it round, and what I'm doing is I've moved the GPS module to there, and I'm inserting the environmental module inside this bit, and I'll do some still photos of that.